What's goody, everyone out there? Thank you for tuning in to the inaugural episode of the Bridge-Gadd Show. That obviously makes me Daniel Bridge-Gadd because I shamelessly plugged my name in the beginning because one day this is going to make money. I wanted to do this podcast because it's something I want to do for a sec to promote my own stand-up comedy and kind of further that path and just break into the entertainment sphere as a whole, but also as a way to kind of just kick it and hang out with friends, or sometimes have comedians on, or I got some special guests coming down the line that are some football players or other sports athletes that I want to get on here and just shoot the shit with and talk about. But the the main purpose of it is just something that I like doing. It's something fun that I wanted to do for a minute. And I just kind of wanted to let everyone know episode 1 is going to be a little bit different. Usually I want to try and start it with an opening rant that's something funny or entertaining. But for the first one, I'm kind of just going to give everyone a recap on what's been going on in my life for the last year, where I've been. If anyone watching has been keeping up with my Instagram or whatever, you've known that football has been kind of rocky, and just life the last year it's been a lot of ups and downs, but I've come back from it, and I'm in a way better headspace now moving forward, and I'm ready to just, attack football and life again in a whole different light, and I think it's going really good. But about a year ago this time, I wasn't playing on any football team anywhere. I had lost my whole football scholarship. I went from, in something like 14 or 15 months, I went from being on a top 4 football team in the country and playing in the Fiesta Bowl and getting to see all that cool stuff, to working at Chick-fil-A with no scholarship and no real direction of what the future was going to be. And I posted something on Instagram about it, just talking about how through the love of, all my support team, my friends, my family, everyone, they kind of helped me rebound and come back. And I'm just in a better place now, where it's everything going forward is positive, whether it's stand-up comedy, whether it's football, whether it's school. So for anyone out there who was concerned, or maybe was just he fell off, or he did this or he did that, this is just a PSA to everyone out there about what I'm doing. I'm back playing football in Northern Arizona. Everything's going great. Going to be competing for that job. Come down the line. We actually got spring ball fucking March 24th, and that's exciting as hell because I haven't played football in a full, year and some change after coming off that ACL injury. But enough of the sad whateverness out of the way. It's all positive going forward. Just want to thank everybody for tuning into the Bridge-Gadd Show, episode 1, and hopefully we can continue this thing, keep it going down the line, and not be so fucking sad all the time, bro, because that depressed the shit out of me. All right, bros, let's get into it. I'm here with my very first guest. He's a very funny guy. I wanted to come on and be my first guest on the show because he's also my roommate, and we just sit and bullshit all day long anyway. Dillon Hollingsworth, everybody.
Hey, thank you so much for having me on your first show.
Yeah, dude. I'm hyped.
It's going to be a good one.
Dude, we were just sitting around kicking it last night in the room, just bullshitting about whatever, and I was like, this is definitely the vibe that we need.
We got in so many arguments last night.
Dude, we get in arguments about everything all the time, and I think it's interesting because I wanted to bring you on because, oh, dude, I forgot. Sorry. Mark Firth, everybody, is the man behind the camera. He's British. You're going to figure that out. I think it's fucking hilarious. Say something with a TH, Mark.
How's it going, guys? Yeah, I'm going to be the guy behind the camera.
So you're from the north.
I'm from the north of England.
God, dude, I love it.
Leeds. If any of you out there from Leeds, big up.
Yeah, Mark's a film major here up at NAU. He's helped me out with all the camera and the technical things that I don't know anything about. He's a big boxing fan. Also very funny because, the whole point of this is to try and be a joke at the same time. So all 3 funny people in here. Dylan, what were we getting into? We were talking about last night.
We were talking about a lot of things last night.
We were talking about a lot of shit last night. I love just I don't want this to have too much crazy structure. I just want us to just kind of bullshit about whatever's going on. But I do have one thing that I think we should get into first before it gets too dated. And everyone's already talked about the Super Bowl, and you saw Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs and Andy Reid and all that win. But I really think it's an even bigger deal to kick off Black History Month. It's a year of the black quarterback, in all honesty. If you didn't know 2020 was on like that, it's on like that, because we got a black Super Bowl champion in Patrick Mahomes, even though he's about as chocolate as I am. Then you got Lamar Jackson, who's the MVP. You got Kyler Murray, who won the Offensive Player of the Year. You have your boy who's on a comeback. So I think it's a lot of black quarterbacks thriving in a time where it's good to be a.
We got BG10 coming back.
I've never heard that before. There's gonna be a new number unveiling. I can't say it yet because it's not locked in stone yet. But there's gonna be a new number. It's not gonna be 10. I'll keep everyone up to date on that. But I wanted to get into to talking about who you watched the Super Bowl. Who you give it to? Because there was what's that running back's name? Big Joe, our homie Big Joe kept saying they went to Arizona Western together. He easily could have won the MVP. Patrick Mahomes did win the MVP, and I wish they wouldn't have given his girlfriend so much screen time.
Yeah, his girlfriend's kind of annoying, but
Dude, she knows she's annoying. She does it intentionally.
Well, that's what she's doing now. Essentially, like, she's annoying as fuck. She got on Twitter famous for being annoying as fuck. So she's just gonna keep being annoying as fuck now.
I was talking to my girlfriend about it, and I love because she's so modest and nice. I gotta say that because I'm gonna say something's gonna piss her off here in a little bit. She's just so modest, and she's so modest and nice. And we were talking, and she was like, if you ever did something like that, I would just like you give like a hug and kiss and stand on the sideline. She tried to make it about her, and I was like, you didn't complete not one pass this season. What you talking about? Sit your ass over there on the sideline. You can do a whole. You're gonna be the first one he sees anyway. Like that's dumb and all.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's something we agree on here.
Well, that's not the point. I don't want to agree on you with everything because it makes for a boring fucking conversation. Dude, what else has been going on, Dill?
Not much, man.
What is that?
You know I love energy drinks, so this was a new one I found called 3D. It's pretty much just Monster.
You know, someone had to pitch that can idea. They were like, look, he's like, I know all these energy drinks, they're all big on putting all the ingredients and the flashing, the logos. He's like, hear me out. What if we do absolutely nothing? And they're like, you know what? I fucking like that. Let's not print a damn thing.
No, so this was from I think the guy I was telling you about, the Alpha Land, who wants to like build like the hotel, the 2 gyms, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he has an energy drink company because the dude just has money to spend.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I fucking like energy drinks, so here, let me buy an energy drink.
I just stopped drinking those. I have no clue what they put in those. You ever seen like the side by side of a soda when it just shows you what like the raw amount of sugar that's in it in like one can, and it's like some shit that's like that? Yeah. I don't want to know what's inside those. That being said, I do drink like a Monster or Rockstar or something like once a day, and it's not good.
It says 0 grams of total sugar, so
3D is up for any sponsorships.
Yeah, man.
You know,
no, that's super illegal. I think that one of these days the NCAA is going to lift the ban on whether or not you can use your name and likeness to make money. Which
didn't California already do it?
California was the first one to,
or isn't it like going through their like state legislature right now?
Yeah, they were the first ones to push the bill through like their state legislation, and it's supposed to take effect in it was like 21 or 23, something like that. Yeah. I'll be done, but it's like it's the right first step because like you shouldn't.
Well, then I know Georgia put it on their docket.
Oh yeah, there's been a bunch of states now because it's the last blatant thing where like everyone around you makes money. Yeah. And like the reason you're like in the stadium, those people don't make money. And like I've seen it now at like a really big level, like when I was at Washington, and you also still see it at an FCS school like NAU. Like the coaches make money. There's concessions. There's merchandise sales. There's sponsorships. There's all that, and it's more blatant on a big scale when there's 70,000 people in the stadium. Yeah. And your coach makes $4 million a year. But like I think that's the first logical step.
Well, it'll be good. Essentially, it'll benefit your starting quarterback. It'll benefit your running back, and maybe like a star receiver, maybe a star defensive player.
Well, it'll benefit everybody. So like, even if you're because you have to do all sports, it can't just be.
Well, yeah, and then it'll benefit like.
Dude, whoever that gymnast girl is from. It's a Pac-12 school, right?
Yeah, UCLA.
Yeah, something like that. Like she'll be able to make money. I just think that
the swimmer from Stanford.
Yeah, I still don't think that's enough. Like it's still obviously fucked up that like Zion should have gotten a cut of the ticket sales. He should have gotten a cut of the jersey sales. Like
I mean, I should have gotten a cut of March Madness.
Well, it's fucking yeah, right. It's a professional sport, and I don't like the men's basketball and football. And maybe there's a couple other like niche sports or whatever like baseball somewhere that make a profit, but those operate the same way professional sports operate.
Well,
you sell out.
My biggest thing was like people always say like, oh, your colleges, you're free. You're taking a kid for basketball, let's say. Mm-hmm. You're gonna take a kid out of school for a month, to go play in a basketball tournament.
Oh, what, dude? I went to school with Markel Fultz, right?
Yeah.
They didn't even make the tournament, but we had 2 classes together. He did not that you don't want to like out someone, but like when you know you're a one and done, because when you're that good, you know you're gonna play in the NBA from like the age of 15, bro. He didn't do a damn thing.
Yeah.
It was hilarious to watch. He got yelled at by a teacher who was sitting in class once for like being on his phone or something like that. And just the look on his face of like, I'm only here because I'm legally obligated to be.
I'm here so I don't get fined.
Yeah, I'm literally here so I don't get fined. And in all honesty, like he could have. College basketball is not that important. Like it is important, but there's been dudes that have make it like the youngest Ball brother's not going to play a second in the NCAA, and he's still going to be a top 5 lottery pick somewhere. Like it's not even. It's stupid that you still make people do it. It's who it's going to change with is Bronny James.
Yes.
Because they're already a goddamn professional basketball team.
See, they play in California, which is where I'm from, and their high school, they like have to like go to like almost arenas to sell out because it's.
Well, it's because it's profitable now.
Well, yeah,
they can make
it's
money.
LeBron's kid, it's Dwayne Wade's
kid,
and there's like some other person's kid on that team.
Well,
they're like, and you already got like 3 kids who are fucking dunking and like alley-ooping to each other.
Well, you
got LeBron in the stands, so there's profit right there.
Everything's about like money. It doesn't matter if you can sell at an arena holding up a fucking pencil. People will promote it. People will buy tickets. It's all like if you can make money off of anything, it doesn't matter. And there's 14, 15, and 16-year-old kids selling out fucking.
Yeah.
It's LeBron 2.0, even though it's his son. Like it's.
But his son's legit though.
The hype. Well, his son's legit. Yeah. But like the hype is real. Like the same shit happened with LeBron when he was coming up. Because he's that good, there's high school teams that are.
Well, that's
out.
Like the thing that NBA. I think they're going to get going on their G League, where you can like opt out, play a year in the G League.
That would be the. Basketball is always on the cusp of shit. Like that's going to be the first step. Is they're going to get because the NCAA and the NBA have the one and done rule is an agreement that they have with each other. If the NBA realizes that.
They
I don't know.
If they realize they can have like their own league and they can do shit themselves, they'll cut the NCAA out immediately.
Exactly. They see all those kids that are playing in March Madness and making all that money. Like it just.
Well, they saw.
I don't know when their contract's up or how it's structured, but like when it's done.
Yeah.
Why would you even want there to be March Madness if you're the NBA?
If you see like a guy like Zion.
Right.
And then they're like, we could have capitalized on this. They could have promoted Zion a lot better.
Yeah, it's like you can't.
They could have made more money off Zion than the NCAA did. Why the fuck not? Would you want to do
exactly? If it's like you can, if they keep that same, I don't know. They wouldn't want to put him in the G League because like it wouldn't. I don't know. There's a downside to that because it's like if you cancel your one and done rule with the.
Well, that's the thing. Like if you look at, let's not to start an argument, but we're going to say the top 3 greatest basketball players, Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, right?
Sure.
All right? 2 of them didn't even play in college.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I just think it'll make it to where, like, if you terminate your contract with the NBA that says, like, the one and done thing is over, then there's no point in making them play 1 year in the G League. Like, that's still that old mindset thinking. Like, at that point, you would just be like, just come play in the NBA.
At that point, at that point, if you're good enough to play in the NBA, play in the NBA.
Dude, well, basketball's not. It's not like football where like. You do have to be physically mature, like strong or whatever. But like, some of these kids could do numbers in the NBA at 16 years old.
Well, yeah, like LeBron.
Dude, LeBron could have played in the NBA at 16 and not been like he is now. But
LeBron was getting ESPN coverage.
When he could have played minutes in the NBA at 16 and done just fine.
Yeah, Kobe did. Kobe played when he was the youngest player to start an NBA game at 18 years old.
Well, it's like, or if they would just, it's never going to be able just to straight pay college players across the board because of.
Well, you got Title IX.
Title IX ruins. Dude, Title IX ruins everything.
Here's where his girlfriend's going to get.
Yeah, yeah. Pause it. If there was no Title IX and profits, because here's the way I think, and maybe it doesn't sound like necessarily the greatest, but like I said before, like, dude, money makes everything work. If for those of you out there who aren't aware, it's something like at major schools, the profit sports get to keep like 30% of their income and 70% goes into the athletic department pool to subsidize all the other sports that lose money, which is at most college campuses, every sport besides men's basketball and football. I think that, and maybe this is just me talking from the top because I do play one of the profit sports or whatever, but it's like, if you can't, like, we shouldn't have to fund you, is what I'm
Well,
saying.
yeah, and have you seen the Netflix documentary? What's it called? Schooled.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
with
where they
Arian
break
Foster.
down, where they break down all the numbers. Like
It's
college kids just started getting meal plans on their
Dude,
campuses like a couple years ago.
Yeah, that's true. When I first got to Washington, that was like the third year that they had started getting what was it? When you lived in the dorms, you got like a certain number of swipes and all that. But like all that's new.
Yeah,
the
like,
stipend's new. They used to just pay for your school and your housing, and they would give you like a meal or something, but you wouldn't just get these straight.
Well, yeah, I was watching the YouTube
checks.
channel Dockery. You know the guy.
Didn't he play at Oregon?
Yeah, well, it's his little brother now.
His little brother runs the account, or his little brother?
Yeah, his little brother took over the account. Is like running the account now because his little brother's at Oregon State too.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, he was like going through like a day.
Yeah.
Of him, and it's like literally him like going to campus, going to class, like running his ass back to the field house so he can have food.
Day in the life of a college athlete. Bro, don't get me wrong. Every other sport, like, if you play any college sport, you work hard, but like just unfortunately, not every sport brings in the same money, and it sucks that you have to give it away, because like what I wanted to say is like everyone should just support themselves.
Yeah, it's a capitalistic society.
Yeah, I've had this argument before, and it doesn't really go too well for me, but I think that like all sports, in theory, it would be great if you could support yourself.
Well,
because,
in theory, but they can't.
Well, because it's not equal. Like, okay, like football charters a plane whenever we fly anywhere because we have a bunch of people and we have the money to do so. So you just need it. You charter a plane whenever you go somewhere. Like, not that other teams like charter planes, but they fly all over the country and that shit costs a lot. Or like teams that play like 2 games a week, they go places for like 5 days, and that's expensive. Hotels are expensive.
Daniel's just sitting there checking the account.
I'm just gonna get blown up whenever this drops. She's gonna be like, "I thought I told you." No, it'll be fine. But it's like not everything needs to be so fair, if that makes sense.
No. Well, and the thing is, like, going back to the like making profit off your name, it's gonna benefit some people. Some people, it's not gonna impact at all.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to impact your fucking left tackle.
The majority of people won't be impacted by it, but the people who should be impacted by it will be.
Yeah, and, like, it's the people who are meant to be impacted by it.
Yeah, exactly. If you're, I don't know, it works for everybody. If you're Zion, you make money all the way down to if you're
Marcus Mariota, if this was happening in Marcus Mariota's time, he would have made a bunch of money.
Dude, you make cash. Well,
You're gonna get the girl from Stanford who's won 3 Olympic medals, 4 Olympic medals.
Mm-hmm.
Katie Ledecky, she's gonna make a shit ton of money.
Well, it's just crazy to see just the amount of money and the amount of people that blatantly see it. Like you hear celebrities and stuff say all the time, like the NCAA's corrupt, the NCAA's this.
Well, NCAA's a nonprofit, which is fucking disturbing. But
who's that? Doesn't the head of it make cash though?
Yeah, everyone in the NCAA makes cash except for
us,
the people who fund.
Right? They're like, here's
except for the people who are doing the work of the NCAA.
Dude,
it's a nonprofit, which means they don't pay taxes.
No, what?
Which is very disturbing.
Bro, here's a great example. So when we went to the Peach Bowl my freshman year, they every coach gets an incentive for having like a player, one of your players that gets a 3.0 or higher. So all the quarterbacks got 3.0s, and our quarterback coach got like a $50,000 bonus. Plus, you get a bonus for making it to the college football playoff, which is already big. And then they got that much money on top of his already ridiculous contract. They go, here's a jumpsuit and an Xbox. And we're like, I hate to run the numbers on that, but that's 5-6 digits is what he's going to make at the end of the year. And I could sell this for $200 maybe. Also, thanks for the jumpsuit. Like that's sweet, but I would have preferred, cash maybe. Where's my stretch limit? I want to pull up a fucking style.
How many of the guys in college had new cars every year?
See, I know dudes who play in the SEC where things are maybe a little bit more, where football's religion a little bit more. But even where I was at, it was not that anything was too blatant, but it was just some things were cool. When you're a bigger school like that, there are perks to like the things you do, and you like I can't say like names or like whatever, but like some dudes would definitely pull up with some stuff sometimes. I'm like, where did you get that?
Yeah,
I'm like, because I know how much money we make because we all make the same amount of money, which like by no means is a lot, and I don't know where you like. So you're telling me you got rent, those Jordans, that new car, and you got Madden already, just all in. And I know your family don't got cash like that. Look, you don't got to explain anything to me.
Just give me the contact information.
Yeah, dude, just give me. No, I wasn't good enough to get the contact
I mean,
information.
you guys are lucky. Like, people back in England in uni and stuff. Like my friend plays for a rugby team at a uni. They don't make money.
Wait, really?
No.
Is it so? Is a unit? Is it like college? Is that what that is?
Basically, so I was talking about it yesterday with a friend, and your guys, like, when you say you go to college, that's like 2 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
No,
then
it's 4.
4.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday, I just want to correct me if I'm wrong. They were saying like when people go to university, they say they're going to college here.
Yeah.
But they say that if they're going to college, it's 2 years. But if they're going to university, it's the full 4.
That's what they say in.
That's what someone said to me yesterday. Whereas like back home, our school system, so you finish high school at 16, then you go to what we call college, which is before university. So you study for like 2 years.
Is college mandatory?
No. So once you finish high school, you can go to work at 16.
That makes a lot more sense, though. That makes a lot more sense because then you hear the stories of like David Beckham when he was like on Manchester United at 16 years old.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what I'm
that's the academy. That's the different thing. Like, you guys get to professional places through college more often than not.
Yeah.
Whereas back home, it's through your like amateur clubs and stuff.
Yeah.
You'll get scouted.
Isn't that the way it works? Like all the really big teams or whatever literally have like youth organizations.
Well,
get,
yeah.
like,
You have an
warmed
academy.
up.
Yeah, like Manchester United. And I only know about this because all my friends are Manchester United fans.
Yeah.
But they have like literally like youth organizations, and so
Yeah,
be
it's just an
told
academy.
Alex Ferguson would like go to like random parks and find like that
Maybe
one-
not Alex Ferguson, but they'll have a team of
Yeah.
agents that go out and they'll get names down.
Yeah, and they
bring them
found like
into the
David
academy.
Beckham when he was like 8 years old.
But the sad part about it is not a lot of people last when they're
Yeah.
unless they're very special. They don't
Well,
last
yeah,
all the way
they
up.
can like tell like as you're going through the program. Like,
I guess we
who's
kind
gonna be
of
legit, who's not gonna be legit.
have that here because like my girlfriend did stuff like that. Like the national team has like I don't know what it's like 12U, 13U, 14,
Yeah.
like all the way up, and like you want to try and stay in that as long as you can.
Yeah, the national team is like 22U.
Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
the like whatever the real national team is, there's only like fucking like 25 players on it, and like they don't rotate out that often.
Yeah.
From people I've spoke to, like my friend actually went pro rugby.
Yeah.
So he doesn't play it anymore. But basically, like the best time like to get like scouted is probably like when you're like 15. I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Because then you're like you can build like your reputation in the academy for a couple of years,
Yeah.
and then maybe get a chance on the first team in the smaller games and stuff.
Well, soccer's just super early, like the way they do shit. Like my girlfriend got, I think she not even off, she committed her sophomore year.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I was like, there's only like only 5 stars in football get recruited like that early. If you're getting recruited in football your sophomore year, that means you're going to a
Baseball.
power.
It's like that in baseball too, though. Like baseball, God, I was 14 and
Mhm.
I had like Long Beach State, Cal State Fullerton
I don't know.
asking me to come to their camps.
I guess it's because there's like it's like football's more you have like just straight size and mass and
Yeah.
like maturity, and like that doesn't usually come until
Uh,
later. Like unless you're
size, mass, and maturity normally doesn't come to you're like 19 years old.
yeah, exactly. It's all like a guessing game. So like in football, you could look decent size when you're 14, but it's like I'm gonna need you to just be big still when you're like
That's
like- Well, yeah, they say I want you to hit weight, I want you to do all this. You're essentially it's your job, and
Yeah.
then when you don't make it, they're like, he wasn't mature enough for this.
That's like in rugby. Like I was saying, my friend who went pro. Like the best time to do it around 15, because at that point most people have kind of grown into what they're gonna be for the rest of their lives, like their size and stuff.
yeah.
Whereas like there might be a guy they pick up like really early on when they're like 13, but or whatever, but he might be bigger than everyone at that point and stronger than everyone. But in 2 years' time, everyone's caught up to that guy,
Did you
and
play
he gets
rugby?
dropped. Yeah.
Yeah? Did you
Not
like it?
not scarred or anything. I was never that good, but
Dude, that's the way all the Mexican
played
youth
for, like,
football
9
teams
years.
are.
Dude,
out
we
here.
used to, so story time, we had a guy when I played high school football. He's like, I'm from England. I did like football and rugby. And none of us knew shit about rugby.
Mhm.
So we're like, oh, you're a fucking kicker. Like, and so one game he kicks it off, and the guy starts like making moves and going down the sideline.
Yeah.
And this kicker comes over and just lays the motherfucker out. Like the guy's helmet flies off and everything. And we're sitting there like, the fuck can you hit like that? He's like, I play rugby.
You guys have helmets.
Yeah, no. So then, like, literally the next day in film, we're like watching rugby highlights, and we're like, oh shit.
A lot of the people I don't know why they're trying to attack and assault and bring down football, because there's literally bare knuckle boxing that people watch. But it's like, a lot of people think that football would be safer if you removed the helmets, and I was like,
no.
I was like,
not at all.
you're fucking stupid, because
Not at
they played with
Not at
leather
all.
helmets back in the day, and people
Those
like
guys are dead.
you don't just
Those guys
just
are
like
dead.
the way that it works is you lead with your head, but like your head's in front when you tackle somebody, and like the way you tackle in rugby is different. But they actually teach rugby style tackling in football now.
Yeah.
So it used to be like, let's say like a dude's running this way, the old school style would be like you want to get your head in front of him, so the thinking is you can get this side of your body on him, so that way you can get like more of an impact. Now they teach you to put, if he's going this way,
Yeah, you get underneath.
you put your head on the back
Yeah.
side of him, which I don't know how I feel about it. I was always
That's
taught if you
interesting.
put your head on the back side, that turns into an arm tackle,
Yeah.
and then they can just run through that arm. But also that's what they taught it. That's what they teach here. That's what they taught at Washington. Like that's just the new school
Like
Yeah.
the way
thinking.
I was
Safer, I
taught is,
guess.
like if you go in for like someone's body,
Mhm.
sort of just under the ribs, it's a good place to go. You want to get to the side of them so your head's kind of going past here,
Mm.
and then your shoulder comes
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Give them those Conor McGregor.
Then you kind of
shoulders.
roll, right?
Yeah, you just put your shoulder in, and
Yeah.
that does the impact
Yeah,
for you.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like
Give
a lot
them
of the time,
Give them those Conor McGregor shoulders.
Dude,
real.
give him McGregor shoulders.
though, you gotta go for the legs. Like,
Oh, you have
especially
to.
if you're
You
a
have
smaller
to.
guy, going for the legs, wrap the legs
Yeah.
around it. Going in.
Well, it's just the problem with football is like as far as like the whole head trauma thing is like the repetition. Like especially if you play in the trenches, you play offensive line, defensive line.
Yeah.
Like every play, your head's banging into something.
Mhm.
Whereas like the best possible scenario for an offensive lineman is getting a pancake or getting like smacked the fuck out of somebody, and a lot of the times that involves your head. Whereas like a perfect play for me is like I don't get touched by a single person.
Yeah.
You drop back, you throw a touchdown, and you get to walk off and go sit on the bench. I'm like, that's job well done.
Yeah. And while the offensive lineman was like headbutting someone.
Dude, it's a different, like, you just have to have a different
You have to have a different mentality in
to
a
play
sense.
offensive line.
Yeah.
Never touch, dude, that's so foreign to me because I've been in a skill position pretty much my whole life.
Yeah.
But it's like, you never touch the ball. You're super okay with it. You're like,
It's
you're
a weird group of people.
you're obese by normal standards. Like,
Yeah.
usually every offensive lineman gets, not every, because you can get ballooned further, but like a lot of offensive linemen lose weight.
Well, yeah, you get Joe Thomas. Dude, shredded now.
Joe Thomas, Mark Schlereth, like there's no reason to be 300.
Well, yeah. See, I coach high school offensive linemen, and like the thing is, like I tell them when I first like get to meet them, I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna bring the dogs out. Like, I'm gonna bring the dog in you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want a pretty boy. I don't want any of this. Like, I want someone. We're in the trenches essentially. I want someone who's, when it's raining, we're doing up downs in the mud. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to hate your fucking life.
Offensive linemen they're the guys though, because it's just like if you have that mindset where you can like
Well, they're defenders. They're protectors. So like, I guarantee you, if like someone hits you the wrong way, someone didn't like it.
that's the best feeling in the
Yeah,
world, bro.
you
When you get
gotta-
tapped and the offensive lineman's like, "Hey, you should stay the fuck off my quarterback."
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, like when we were like, I had a quarterback I was playing flag football with, and like he ended up like getting tackled or something.
Yeah.
And then, like some guy was like standing over him, and I was like running down the field. I was like, "You better get the fuck back."
Yeah.
And like that was like a flag football game.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't like the way it happened.
All right, I still want to hit celeb boxing matches.
We got sidetracked a little.
We did. You just let me know when to go back, Mark.
Yeah, we're rolling.
I still wanted to hit on just the blatant money grabs the celebs are doing now for like,
It's so
why are the Paul brothers boxing? Why is
It's-
that KSI guy from across the pond where Mark's from fighting? Like,
it's
there's no reason because it's not going to amount to anything. Like, I understand, I respect the hustle. You guys are making cash, but it's not like,
I can explain the storyline if you want of how it all came out, how it all came to be.
well,
Yeah,
I knew like the amateur
quickly.
fight, the beef on over their YouTube videos, and then
I mean, like from the start though. Because it didn't have any of the Americans involved in it in the first place.
Wait,
Those
really?
fights before, yeah.
Like celeb boxing?
YouTube boxing. But yeah. So it started off with this guy called Joe Weller and his friend Theo Baker. They kind of messed around and just had a fun fight in the ring where, you know, it was nothing serious. It was like 10-minute breaks in between rounds. Because there wasn't boxers. It wasn't like an actual thing.
It was like, let's scrap on camera.
And then KSI as a joke put on an Instagram post, Joe Weller's, I'll fight the winner as a joke. And then there was like a gaming event type thing. And there was like a mini press conference there.
Yeah.
And that's when it got heated and it got real. Because there was a lot of like things brought up in the press conference, like to do like mental health issues and stuff, and it got personal real fast.
Yeah.
So that's when they made the fight at the Copper Box Arena in London, which seats like, I think it's like 5,000. Sold it out. Like they got a shit ton of pay-per-view buys.
And then they realized.
KSI won the YouTube belt, and then he called out Jake Paul, Logan Paul, any of the Pauls.
Any of the Pauls.
Jake didn't want it because he said he didn't need it at the time.
Oh, fucking shit.
And then, so Logan accepted the challenge. They fought in Manchester in
yeah, that's when they had like the amateur,
August.
the amateur fight, right? Where it was like
yeah,
a bunch
that
of
was
YouTube.
the first one. Yeah.
And then they both got licensed, right? And then after they got licensed, they had a real bout, and then now they're continuing with my only problem. Okay, here we go. My rant. My only problem with it is that, all right, if you want to get licensed and you want to do this, one, I want to watch you fight the legit guys.
Yeah, the journeyman.
Yeah, like I like KSI. You want to talk like how you're like one of the best boxers in the world? Go fight Miguel Cotto.
Yeah.
Miguel Cotto would fuck you up.
To be fair,
Jake Paul, all the Pauls. You want to talk about how you're some of the best boxers?
Any Paul can get it.
Yeah, any Paul can get it, bro. You want go fight Money Mayweather, go fight Pacquiao, go fight Cotto. All three of them will fuck you up.
Have you seen? Did you watch the first fight that they had?
Yeah, it was hard.
Shannon Briggs, man.
I started watching the card.
Do you know what he was saying about Logan? He was like, "Oh, in 3-4 years, he's gonna be a heavyweight champion. Trust me, he can't even fucking win an amateur fight."
Fucking heavyweight champion. You think anyone's gonna get past Fury or Wilder? Joshua?
I think like the good takeaways from it is because obviously they have such.
It's bringing attention. It's bringing attention to the sport,
and like
because
they have like a young audience base for the most part that could inspire them to do boxing, and that could eventually, in 5 years time, 10 years time, grow the sport even more because like more people are like, oh, I saw that guy box. It's cool. I start boxing, and then that could actually raise.
Well, yeah, and then you'll get the boxing gyms. They'll start reopening all over the country because that's how Sugar Ray got his start. They used to have these like in like New York, LA, and like rural areas.
Yeah,
they used to have free after school boxing gyms.
Dude, well, what it does is it's gonna saturate what being a professional athlete means because all a professional like it used to mean. If you're a professional athlete, it means you're the best at what you do. Now it just means you make more money.
Well, yeah.
Like, any of the YouTube, not whatever slur I was going to insert there, any of the YouTube idiots who, like, they're just as professional as Canelo Alvarez now.
Oh, yeah. Canelo would fuck them all up, too.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter at all because you know why? They're just like, we're here for the money.
Yeah, they're going to make money.
Logan Paul's like, for the right price, I'll go 12 rounds with whoever, bro. It does not matter.
Essentially, yeah. And then he's like, my thing was, you got guys like Canelo, you got guys like Miguel Cotto, who arguably almost beat Floyd Mayweather.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Mayweathers of the world. You're not as good of a boxer as them.
Yeah.
Your head movement's not as good. Your hands aren't as quick.
Yeah.
Your hands don't have the experience.
Yeah, your hands aren't as powerful. We got in this argument the other day over Andy Ruiz over experience. Do you think Logan Paul's going to go beat Andy Ruiz?
Fuck no. Andy Ruiz about to
Andy Ruiz has been punched by some of the baddest motherfuckers in the game.
I think I know I know Logan Paul said he could beat like certain people and be each champion, but like some of them have kind of stayed away from that. They know they're good in their own lane.
You know they're good, and then you're gonna say shit, and you're gonna awaken a beast.
Well, it like raises the question: how long until like skill matters, right? So it's like it's a little bit easier to do in boxing because it's like a one-on-one sport, but like it could get to the point where it's like, dude, if the Browns and Dolphins are playing and they both suck, or some fucking celebrity team is playing full contact football, like who are you gonna watch more?
Yeah, exactly.
Probably the celebrity team over the fucking,
The difference.
Then you're getting like Justin Bieber saying, "Oh, I want to fight Tom Cruise." Now everyone's trying to.
I'd watch that.
The difference between like pro boxing though and like pro football, for example, is like anyone can be a pro boxer.
Yeah.
Whereas like to be pro football, you need to get that kind of traction to go get the scholarships in college. And,
like boxing, like I could literally walk down.
Doesn't mean you can do it, but
register
that
my hands.
Yeah. Well, like literally, you just have to
register with the state athletic commission, and they'll give me a license.
Well, it's not that simple. A lot of the time, like I was watching something, and the whole YouTube thing.
Yeah.
They want one of the plans was to do it in the UK again on the pro card.
Yeah.
But the UK Pro Commission, they wouldn't give them a pro license.
It's a lot harder. You have to like have a hearing board. You have to go through a bunch of shit to get a pro license.
You need to be able to prove that you're not going to get hurt if you get hit.
Which irritates the shit of me is that California gave Chuck Liddell a license.
Wait, you can't just
fucking years old.
You can't just be like, let's scrap.
No.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
You can get an amateur license.
Yeah, an amateur license is pretty much just
the
like
pros. Pros a different game. Like you got the you got no head guards. That's the first big difference, and then you got the lighter gloves. So you're gonna feel the hits much harder.
Yeah.
So you like back home, you kind of need to prove yourself in the amateur ranks a little bit.
Yeah.
Before they can be like, yeah. But like one thing that's interesting is Olympic boxers aren't pro boxers. They're not pro boxers.
Yeah.
They're classed as semi-pro.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, because that's why a lot of boxers.
Floyd was classed as a semi-pro when he was doing the Olympic boxing.
Like if you know you can win an Olympics and you're going to get on that squad, you'll delay your pro license just because you'll get the traction. From
I saw. I was watching a Netflix documentary about this where it's guys who are like essentially could like go pro.
Yeah.
But they're trying to make the Olympic team for boxing, or like when boxing was in the Olympics.
Yeah.
And it was literally that you like have to go in boxing tournaments. Essentially, where you're like taking like 3-4 fights in a day, and like making your way through
3-4 fights in a day.
Yeah, well, they're like 3, 4, 5 round.
That's still gonna hit the fucking head.
For example, like the UK one, how it'll work is like the Olympic team will scout, but they'll use the British Amateur Championship to find those people.
Yeah.
Like for example, Anthony Joshua, he got all of his traction for the Olympics. I think that's where he got his name.
Mm-hmm.
So
didn't he win?
Yeah, got gold. So
he's sitting there bragging about it. He's like, no big deal. Though.
So is that your guy? Yeah,
our guy got the gold.
Is that your guy? Is that all of England's guy? You're just like, it's Anthony Joshua or fuck you.
Tyson Fury is a big one.
Yeah,
especially like from where I'm from as well. Like, cause he's from Manchester.
Yeah.
So he's like, he's kind of like one of the prides of the North. But you got like other boxers in other divisions. Like, I think he's a middleweight right now. Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
He's really good. There's a lot of like boxers in England that are like on and off, like people like Kell Brook and Chris Eubank Jr. People like that. Like, there's a lot of good boxers in England.
I feel like boxing's bigger in England than it is in the States.
Yeah,
the fans love it. They're like a lot. You'll always get like British fans, like
that's
Irish
where it starts now. Where did boxing
like,
originate?
UFC and boxing everywhere.
Yeah, well, the Irish fans are a bunch of loyal. We're a loyal group,
Oh, here we go, big Irish guy.
Our boys could do no wrong, essentially.
Let's listen to 10 minutes of this.
Like in UFC 246, you could hear the Irish fans.
Well, have you seen the?
Bro, it's because there hasn't been an Irish UFC fighter that's worth a shit until Conor McGregor.
He's our first champion.
Yeah.
But it was the press conference in Dublin. Someone asked like McGregor, which I don't know why they'd have a press conference in Dublin, but that's a little biased. But they were like, oh, like what's the difference between the Irish and the Brazilian fans? And Conor essentially said like, oh, the Brazilian fans like, Irish fans, we make fun of everyone, like to have a good time. The Brazilian fans will cut your head, but at the end of the day, Brazilian fans won't be heard because the Irish fans are so goddamn loud.
Yeah.
And then my guy I coached with texted me. He was like, dude, I'm walking around Vegas right now after this fight, and these Irish guys are drunk as shit, just singing. He's like, we've been singing for 2 hours. I don't even know what the hell we're singing about.
Is it bad that I don't have any aspirations of traveling anymore?
No.
My girlfriend's gonna go play soccer in somewhere in Europe, and like she's like, I want to do it because I want to see the world. and like they'll pay for it. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. I was like, but as far as just like going on a vacation somewhere, dude, like I wouldn't. Like the 13-hour flight to anywhere, bro. There's nowhere that's that different from here that's worth flying 13 hours. Because it's like, dude, we're talking white countries. Like we live in the best one on earth. You can fight me on this if you want, Mark. But we already live in the best one. Because it's like, bro, where are we gonna go? We're gonna go to Canada? No, that's just the cold version of us. And we can go to the UK. That's you guys are just soft to us. We already told you to get out. And then, or fucking Australia, they're just like our weird speaking cousins that no one talks to. And like, if we got it made here, where are we going?
He said, we already told you to get out.
Yeah, we already told you to get out, pack your shit, tax us like that, why don't you? No, and it's like, white country, we're at the peak of the white countries. And it's like, if you're talking black countries, I don't.
You know,
you don't want to go to there either.
If you agree or disagree with this, let's cause a bit of discussion, you know.
See, I want to travel, and he knows I want to travel, but we'll like be sitting in the room, and I'll be like, "Yeah, man, I want to go to Ireland someday." And then he'll just be sitting there. He'll be like, "He's like, yeah." He's like, "Why would I want to leave Arizona?"
Do you know?
It depends what you got going on. Like, if you don't have much going on, you want to do things. Like, if you've got a lot going on and you've got your own aspirations and goals, like for example, yours might be, right, get ready for spring ball.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, that's in your head, that's your mind. You're not thinking about going other places.
Yeah.
No, I have a friend who has nothing going on, and he's the same exact way. Like, my friend, like to get him out of California is a struggle at this point.
It's a mindset though. Like, it depends how open you are. If you're happy where you are.
Yeah, like he went to Utah. He went to Utah. He trained at an MMA and all that, and then I'll be like, hey man, like we're going to Vegas. You want to come? And he'll be like, no, I'm good. And I'll be like, it's a free trip to Vegas. And he'll be like, no. And I'll be like, you're not going to take a free trip. He's like, bro, I've been to Utah. Like, I'm good.
Dude.
I'm like, you're acting like you've seen the world in Utah.
That's what I'm saying. Because I'm Jewish, so I'm 99% sure I get that birthright
yeah, you do.
trip to Israel if I really wanted it. And it's like, no. Like, I don't want to go to Israel. Like, why don't you want to go to Israel? Do you see how often they launch bombs or bombs are being launched at them?
I had a friend who was in Israel when they were launching bombs back and forth with each other.
Dude, and even if he was like, it's not that close, that's still too many.
Oh, no, he was scared shitless.
Do you know how many bombs they launch where I live? None. That's the number I like to live around. Like, anything higher than none, dude, I'm good.
Dude, we were talking to Cam yesterday, and I was like, hey, man, you know you have a free trip to Israel. And he's like, God damn it, I'm not Jewish. And then Mario came in, and Mario's like, oh, no, man. And then Mario started, like, looking it all up and, like, sending him links for his free birthright trip.
Yeah, dude. It's like, and the thing is, like, what am I going to do? I'm going to go there with a bunch of, like, I already got a wifey, and it's like, what, I'm going to go on a birthright trip with a bunch of other single Jewish people? Because that's exactly what it is.
That's essentially what it is.
If you think for one
they
second,
bring you back so you can get with a Jewish woman.
You said what?
Is it so you can, like, kind of get set up with someone?
Dude,
yes, that's essentially what it is.
If you think it's not J-Date in real life, you're fucking wrong.
Yeah, no, they, like, literally, like, they want you to come.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, they literally want you to come back. Because isn't Judaism passed down through the mother?
Yeah, which is why I know for a fact I would have.
Yeah, so they want you to come back so you can, like, link up with other Jewish women. So
dude, that's all it is.
It's like one of those, like, when you're on, like, a pirate website and it's like, meet hot Jewish women in your area. But real
What
life.
websites are you going on? I've never seen that pop up before. No, but
I get the hot single milfs website.
No, it's dude, it just doesn't sound fun. It's because, like, I'm already tied down, and then first of all, they're gonna send me on a 12-hour fucking plane ride, and you know it's gonna be on Spirit Air because the Jews are paying for it. And then
I've flown Spirit, bro. That shit's so sketch.
Dude, it's sketch. They have bucket seats. They don't lean back.
It took me about 7 hours to get to Chicago, which should be like a 4-hour flight, and I'm sitting there like looking at my phone like, all right, it's been more than 4 hours now, and then I'm looking at the stewardess. I'm like, we almost there?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, sorry, like, we got redirected. I was like, you didn't bother to tell any of us that we got redirected?
Dude,
I was like, we're flying in unsafe space, and you're just like playing it off.
It's worth it though, because I got an $80 round trip to Seattle, so I was like,
yes, that's the thing.
That's a win.
It's a cheap thing, but at the end of the day.
Dude, the seats don't lean back. The fucking flight attendants don't even try to be cordial. Like,
Dude,
they were like, drink, and then I didn't answer fast enough, and she just went to the next person.
Oh, yeah, and then they sit in the back for like another 2 hours doing like. This one bitch was studying. I don't know what she was studying for. But I was like, oh, cool. I was like, can I get a fucking water though?
I'm studying for the test. What test?
Yeah. She's like the steward test.
She's like, I just want to know what to do in case this thing goes down because
which is very possible because we just got re-fucking
because we're flying to Israel right now and the percentage of bomb being lobbed is above 0 and I don't like that.
I think like the most boring flight I've ever been on. It was like 7 hours. It was like one because I had to take 3 flights to get into Flagstaff.
From where?
From Manchester.
See, that's why I'm not fucking leaving. You
from
said
Manchester,
3?
I had to go to Philadelphia. Like normally, like when you get a plane from the UK to America, there's not like some sort of like in-flight movies and screens behind the scenes and stuff because you're there so long. There was nothing. I was sat there for 7 hours. I was like, man, and I couldn't sleep either because I'd already got sleepy. You know, I got like
So that's why you go hit the the bar.
Yeah, what?
Do you want me to tell you a
before?
fact about that? Actually,
Yeah.
I was telling you about it last time I think. So basically, when the plane leaves England, even if I'm in American airspace, that plane's still classed as British soil, so I could drink on that plane at that point. But
Wait, what?
yeah, but on the way back,
it's American
it's
airspace.
American. It's classed as American soil, the plane. So even if I'm in like British airspace, can't drink until
So it matters. It matters where you start
Right,
at.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
That's a rough one.
But I didn't want to
Whoa.
drink on the way there because I was on my own. I'm like, right, I need to make sure I don't, because I had to get another flight after that. I was like,
He said,
I
I need
need
to
to
make
make-
sure I get there. I
Wait.
need to make sure.
I need
Wait,
to
what's
make sure I
what's the
don't
drinking age in the UK?
18.
Bro, see, this is why we kicked you guys out the country because your rules are just fucking crazy.
I mean,
no,
you,
I don't
the
know.
one,
I
the one
I
thing-
agree with drinking at 18 though.
18,
Like, the
which
one
is
problem I've had is your drinking age and stuff is 21, but you can go fight for your country at 18.
Yeah, see, I could get drafted. I could go fight. I could go find a war. I could do all this, but you're telling me I can't walk into a bar and order a beer?
yeah, you're right. That doesn't make any sense.
It's fucking stupid. You're essentially saying you could tell, not like involuntarily, you could tell me I have to go to war. At
Dude.
18, I could get drafted,
Which is the
but I can't go into a bar and say, "Hey, man, pint of wood, sever on draft," and they'll be like, "Sorry, bro."
dude. Even more on top of that, I can create life at 13, but you're telling me I can't get a brew?
Well, remember the story with my dad? I was like, he's like really big on following the rules all the time.
Yeah.
And then so I don't know, I did something that wasn't like against the law. And he was like lecturing me. I was like, Dad, you were hammered at your wedding when you were 20 years old and there was a beer in your hand. He was like, damn it, Dylan, if I'm old enough to start a family and get married, I'm old enough to have a beer.
Dude, that's so
And I was
fucking
like-
factual
Like,
because
you're right.
if I can I'm not saying you should be able to drink at 13 because, like, you're still developing, but, like,
Well,
dude,
let's be real, you really shouldn't have a family.
you can really bust nuts and make people at, like, 12, 13, and that's scary as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
a rough one.
We'll get into UFC 247, and then I'll tell you guys about why I want to end on like one comedy story about whether it's a comedian in the news or some dumb shit I did or whatever, but also just kind of like tie into a nice little bow stand up at the end. Let's just go ahead and get into it. The UFC 247 this weekend on Saturday is going to be lit. I don't know anyone on the fucking card except for Derek Lewis and John Jones.
You got Shevchenko.
Who?
Valentina Shevchenko.
I've got the
that's-
card
You're
here.
talking about women's fighting?
Yeah, women's fighting, essentially. It was the one
All
girl
right, bro,
who
talk
threw,
about it.
Yeah, it was the one girl who she threw 300 strikes. The
Huh?
one girl's 3.
Dude, okay, so I was watching the like embedded shit that the UFC puts on YouTube, and it's like they don't have enough good girl fighters for it to matter. Like Shevchenko's a fucking baller, and Nunez is a baller. The girl that is getting a title shot against Shevchenko has,
I have no idea who she is.
dude, she's not.
No
She
idea who
trains
she is.
in like a fucking like shed. She hasn't beat anyone notable. It's literally just like there's not enough girls that just want to
Well, I
do
think
it.
So
So
she's like Deontay Wilder.
dude, so it's
Fought a bunch of nobodies, trains in the same gym.
no, I'm saying the girl Valentina Shevchenko, whatever her name is. She's like legit. Fights at a big,
Yeah, she's
a big
fought, like-
camp. She's legitimate.
Top level's like Holly Holmes, right?
Not
Really?
anymore. That it's Amanda Nunez.
Amanda
at that
Nunez.
weight.
But I think Shevchenko's fought Amanda Nunez.
She lost.
Yeah, but I think she's lost twice.
She went down weight though. Is the thing.
Yeah, and it was a decision, too.
It's just there's not enough.
Well, you got
It hasn't been around long enough for there to be like.
essentially your star Rousey got knocked out of the sport.
Well, that was the first breakthrough start. It's like there hasn't.
And then you really haven't. You had Nunez, who's giving everybody the hands at this point.
Yeah.
But at
Well, it's
this
just
point,
like there hasn't been enough.
You don't have enough fighters to make
There's
it.
not a big enough cachet of like girls that are good enough to make it that interesting. Like,
Well, yeah, you got like girls like Shevchenko and Nunez, 2 different weight divisions though.
well, it's literally
And
like
no one's in Shevchenko's weight division.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So she's fighting essentially.
because they only have
nobody.
25 and 35, right? Or is it 15 and 25?
Yeah, it was like 25, 35, and I think they gave Cyborg.
Look, hey, can you look that up, Mark? What's the smallest women's weight class? Is there only 2 or is there 3?
I think there was 3. Because I think they gave Cyborg her own.
Isn't she big?
Yeah, they gave Cyborg the 45.
Dude, can we please get a 200-pound female division?
So we got featherweight, so that's 145 pounds.
Yeah.
Bantamweight, 135. Flyweight, 125, and then strawweight, 115.
Oh, so they got 4 divisions.
Those are the women's divisions? Because I thought those were the men's weight.
Who the fuck is the strawweight champion for the women's?
It's
I've never heard of her.
Valentina Shevchenko, right?
No, I thought she was.
Because Amanda knew. Oh, shit. Oh, technical malfunction. It's fine. The camera's on you.
Congratulations. You broke all the equipment.
Just keep going.
Who's the strawweight champion, though?
Let's have a look. Strawweight women's champion.
Because you got.
Carla Esperanza.
Okay, I've never heard of her. Shevchenko's 25, right? Wait, no, Shevchenko's not 25.
Let's have a look.
Wait, Shevchenko might be 25.
Dude, I don't.
Because I know Nunez is holding 2 right now. Nunez is holding the 35 and the 45.
That's what I was saying. There has to be.
So we got Nunez is holding the.
Just give Nunez all the belts at this point.
Well, she's
Nunez
the
can
best.
give everyone the hands. She's the goat of the women's division at this point. She's keeping it around.
She's the best by far.
But anyways, you got John Jones on the card though.
Yeah, you got,
big one.
and he's fighting Dominic Reyes.
Was he 25-0 with 1 draw, right?
One DQ.
DQ no contest. 12-6 elbows. Steve Mazzagatti was a ref. It was kind of bullshit. But
No, he has 1 loss technically.
Yeah.
And it was because he was dominating someone and threw elbows to the back of the head when you're not supposed to do that.
in a
And he got-
12-6.
And then he got disqualified. Whatever. But he's
amazing.
fighting some kid named Dominic Reyes, and it was the scariest shit I've ever seen in my life because
I've never heard of Dominic Reyes till he started calling him Jones.
I don't think he beat anyone crazy like huge.
Yeah.
But
Call
he,
him out.
yeah, but
Yeah.
he hasn't fought anyone huge, and he's out here trying to claim like. I was watching an interview, and he's like, "I played football." First of all, he played at fucking Stony Brook, which isn't like a ginormous school.
Mhm.
He's like, "I played football, and I understand." He's like, "I played safety, and I understand space and movement and this and that." He's like, "And I played baseball, so I got
You're
the."
acting like John Jones hasn't played football?
You're acting like his brother's not the defensive player of the fucking year.
Yeah. Like,
He
you're
was a
acting like he
defensive
didn't
player,
grow
dude. He
up
was,
fending himself off from all his brothers,
I
who
think
are
he-
all athletes.
I think he was NFC defensive player of the year.
Yeah,
He was something.
doesn't
he led the
play for
league in
doesn't he
sacks.
play for the Cardinals?
Yeah, he's fucking legit. He's a Pro Bowler,
Yeah.
first team All Pro. He's really good. But
Yeah.
John was like, everyone at this level is an elite athlete. You fucking dummy. He's
Yeah.
like, you think because you played football at some school I don't know that
Wow.
you're gonna be better than me?
Well, at the end of the day, John's fought some of the toughest guys in
Dude,
the
he's
world.
the GOAT.
Yeah, he's fought, and like I will stand by this. The light heavyweight
Is the best division in
probably
in the UFC history.
toughest division in
They're-
the UFC.
It's like a
in all of it.
It's like a defensive end. They're the best athletes out there, and you can't do anything to stop them. Like,
Yeah.
who-
Well, you got John B. Who did he beat for the belt again?
Don't know.
Oh,
he beat
I
a-
know
he-
this. I just watched it.
Yeah, was it Shogun? No, it wasn't Shogun. Wait,
Yeah, it was.
it was Shogun.
Yeah, he beat Shogun for the
Yeah,
belt.
so you beat Shogun, who's
Dude, he beat
considered
Shogun. He beat Machida. He beat Chael Sonnen. He beat Rampage. He beat Rashad. He beat Cormier twice. He beat Alexander Gustafsson twice.
Mhm.
Like they're like he's the one who took Rampage out of his peak. He killed Rashad's career.
He sent DC to heavyweight.
He literally sent DC to heavyweight. He said he put that man into tears. Like, don't dip. Like, I know you got to sell the fight, Dominic Reyes, but it's like don't
Well, yeah.
acknowledge the GOAT. Just be like, I'm glad I'm here.
Well, that's what the guy who fought him before, Tiago, did.
Yeah,
Tiago's like, yo, like, this guy blessed me with an opportunity.
Dude, well, it's
Like,
just
how
like,
can I-
look,
how can you not appreciate him?
it's not like you're fighting Conor, who's not arguably the greatest of all time. He's just a really good fighter at his weight class.
And he
You're
sucks.
fighting the GOAT,
Yeah.
who I'm convinced could beat anyone in the heavyweight division. He's obviously like, no one can touch his jock in the light heavyweight division. Like, your job is to show up and be really humble that the UFC's giving you a fucking, like, a nod to go forward.
As Connor said, red panty night.
Yes, dude. And then just be like, I'm going to give it my best fucking shot.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens. Don't be like, he's weak, he's punchable, he's this, he hasn't fucking lost. Like, don't be
Yeah, no.
dumb.
He's only been tested really like 2 or 3 times. He got
It's just,
tested in the Gustafsson fight the first time. He got tested in maybe the DC fight. That could have gone either way.
Mhm.
And then even I rewatched his last fight with Thiago, and I gave that to John even after rewatching it. I was like, no, John dominated this one too.
You can never rule anybody out though. Look at how like unorthodox the McGregor and Cerrone fight was. Like, no one expected him to run in there, shoulder.
I expected McGregor to finish it quick though.
It's
Lights
not
out.
that quick, though.
But
And
it's
not in
like,
the clinch
what if this
either.
guy comes out with something that like
Yeah.
McGregor? Like, no one's ever seen a shoulder in UFC.
Yeah, well,
make an impact
everyone
like that.
everyone was like acting like McGregor wasn't training for 2 years though. Like everyone was
Yeah.
acting like, oh, he just like got off the couch one day and decided to take the Cerrone fight. Like,
No, he got humbled.
Yeah, he
'cause
got-
he lost to Floyd.
Well, yeah,
he lost.
he
to
got humbled.
Khabib.
He got in some legal trouble.
Yeah.
He lost some money, and then he was like, then he got back to his coach said, "I'm not coaching you anymore, John."
Yeah.
There's an interview where he's like, "I'm done." Like your Khabib
'Cause
camp.
he wasn't turning up to training some days.
Yeah,
he was saying, "I'll
he
turn
was-
up when I want."
Yeah, he was getting fucking hammered after training, and John's like, "I'm not fucking doing this. Like I'm
He
not."
ruins
putting
his
my-"
reputation as a coach.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's like,
he
I'm
was-
not going to put my name behind this legacy.
Well,
I'm just
essentially,
gonna go
you-
fuck it off.
Well, the way you do it is essentially, especially with a guy like Connor, you're closing down your gym.
Yeah.
So he's like,
Yeah, no one else is in there when he's in there.
yeah, because you're gonna bring in Connor sparring partners, you're gonna bring that, but you're not gonna have open gym sessions.
Yeah.
You can't. 'Cause, like,
Wow.
He's
got
too big of a
private-
star.
Well,
yeah.
especially while Connor's in training for a title fight.
Yeah.
Like how John Jones trains late at night.
Yeah.
That's because they'll keep the gym open so
Yeah.
they can all make their money.
Yeah. But then
And
obviously,
then-
you know, the dude who makes you the most money.
Yeah, and then they're gonna bring in the Jackson Wink staff will be
Yeah.
like, all right, let's get to work now, and that's why they have dorms in the gym, is so he can be like kind of be there, you know, go chill with his family, then come back, have a late night training session, and then he can just stay there.
It's kind of similar for like Anthony Joshua. He normally does his camp up in like he's from like Watford, which is near London.
Mhm.
He does it in Sheffield, which is like up north, like near me. It's like 30 minutes from me.
Yeah.
That's where all the Olympic athletes train and stuff in Sheffield. So he goes and gets away from everything, and you know,
Yeah.
he has like a small like flat, like a very small flat.
Well, yeah, you gotta keep those camps under wraps too, because
Yeah.
you don't want anyone knowing about them.
It needs to be simple and efficient.
Well,
That's all it
simple,
needs to be.
efficient. The coach is gonna run it. You don't want spies trying to breach the camp. You get a lot of things going on in there. But that was the thing. Like everyone's like, "Oh, Connor's been out of the game." I was like, "He's been training."
You don't really
His
stop.
coach, yeah, his coach has said he's been back at the gym, and his presence has been back in the gym, which is essentially like what happens when like, you know, you got guys who make money, and it's gonna happen to John Jones eventually. You're gonna get money, and it's gonna be hard to wake up and go through rigorous training.
Yeah.
Again, it happened to Connor. It happened to it happened to Jones for a bit.
All right. Before we get out of here, I want to do one topic to end every show, kind of like a stand-up in the news or a stand-up story. It doesn't always have to be someone famous, but just kind of like something interesting or funny that revolves around stand-up. That's a huge part of my life. But I want to talk about, I did this show called Soul Sugar that it's twice a week up here at NAU, and it's the biggest crowd that I've performed in front of probably ever, low-key. No, I've been a couple that were similar size, but it was like 200 people, and it was a mostly black room, which I've never done before. And if you're not familiar with my stand-up comedy, A, it's going to be on the same YouTube channel, so get your fucking life together. And B, it's not very chocolate. Like, you can just hear by the voice and the aura. Like, I'm not the most hood dude in the world. I grew the dreadlocks out as a disguise. And I grew the dreadlocks out as a disguise. Not allowed to wear Jordans on Sundays. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, he wears the do-rag before night.
Dude, but I went and did. Yeah, dude. All these tattoos wash off.
He looks hood, but then when you talk to him, you'll be like,
oh, this guy wouldn't hurt a fly.
yeah,
I'm
like
well,
he'll like walk around with like his like sweatpants, like
it's Sweatpants sag.
Down at the
beater
hamstrings. Wife beater on. Do-rag on.
And then say words like articulate.
Yeah, then you're like, wait a second, this guy's educated. I'm not.
Yeah, dude. So I did this room. The show's called Soul Sugar. It's all black. It's run by the Black Student Union. And when I get there, I sign up. I'm going dead fucking last after like 40 people and an intermission. And so I get there and I'm like, all right, I realize I'm not going on for another like fucking hour. So I leave. I go get Taco Bell. I'm eating in the parking lot. I go back in and I come in during the intermission, and it's literally a party. Like they're playing hood music, shit's bumping. Everyone's dancing, and I can't dance, so I'm sitting there with my hands in my pockets, feeling uncomfortable. I was like, Jesus Christ, this is not going to go well. I was like, they're going to think I'm corny, whatever the fuck. So we get down to the very end of the show, and the kid that goes before me is this white rapper named, I want to shout him out. What was his name? Saucy, yes, because you got to go see this fucking kid. Dude, so his name is Saucy, and he's right, listen to this at some point. He's not a bad entertainer. We'll put it that way. Like, he knows how to like captivate a room, and it was kind of a novelty because like he's just so like Caucasian, and he had a fucking like bedazzled belt on, and he was singing like imagine the whitest guy you can think of trying to rap like Ski Mask or Lil Pump or something for a room full of 200 black people, and it was fucking hilarious. So anyway, he goes on, he does 2 songs, and he murders it, and everyone's like, oh shit, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to fucking follow this somehow. Like, these people are ready to go home. This kid just blew the lights off the place. And then I go up to once he gets done, I go up to the MC, and he doesn't really know how comedy works. Comedy, it's not supposed to just go from fucking lit to, all right, tell your jokes, guy. Yeah. So like I go to him, I'm like, hey, can you like give me an intro? Like, I hand him the mic, I was like, you bare minimum, like, just calm them down and be like, here's Daniel to tell some jokes and close this out. Like, I don't want to fucking, like, are you ready? Like, I don't need none of that shit. Just, like, bring me on. And he's like, nah, family, you're good. You got it. I was like, what? I was like, no, that's not going to go well. So I had to walk in. These people are screaming. And the first thing I get on stage, I was like, all right. Yeah. And then, dude, literally, I love black people because they're so blunt. Someone from the fucking side of the room just goes, who the fuck are you? Sorry, I'm sick. I was like, I'm here to tell jokes. I'm a comedian. Someone's like, cornball. I was like, all right. And then I just, I was like, give it up. I was like, give it up for white chocolate one more time. And everyone goes fucking nuts. And my very opening jokes, I was like, dude, fuck it, if we're already in here, might as well do it. I just start off, I'm like, not all racism's bad. Some of it's just efficient. And then, dude, it's just silence across the board. And it's only a 5-minute set. And it takes like 35, 40 seconds of it for everyone to like get on board. And it ended up going actually okay. Not that I killed or not that I bombed, but there was like a couple laughs. And I did one corny fucking Jewish joke about like my nose being too big or being on the nose, and they didn't like that. And they were like, knee slapper. I was like, that's great, guys.
The funny thing is, like, I could totally imagine my friend Sparks being there and be the one being like, who are you?
Oh, dude, exactly.
Are we still going on with this?
Yeah,
like,
well, when they were like...
What's your name?
Yeah, when they were like, cornball, I was like, that's great. And then I went and the set did okay. And I guess, like, I want to get the whole thing out there because I thought it was funny. Someone came up to me at the end, and they were like, so is that your real thing, or is just being white, like, kind of your skit? I was like, no. I was like, is that a fucking skit, you asshole? I was like, I just sound like this.
It sounds like he's gone from the opposite, like a white guy trying to be black, and then a black guy.
Yeah, they were like, I like that. That's just like your whole kind of like, that's like your thing.
That's your vibe. That's your vibe. She said,
first of all, don't ever call a comedian stand-up a fucking skit, because that's annoying. And she was like, oh, just being like whites, you're kind of like your skit. I was like,
just a girl.
I was like, do you hear this voice? You see how it didn't immediately change into something like this? Like, I didn't get off stage, start talking all hood. No, this is who I am. What? I rolled my pants up and I got a whole Golden Girls sleeping outfit that I might wear on the podcast one of these days.
He really does. Matching t-shirt, matching pants.
Yeah, dude.
He came out just to show it to us one day.
I'm just trying to be relatable to the Caucasian folks, and maybe one day we can get a fucking network gig and some sponsors.
He's like, this is where the money's at, so this is what I'm doing.
Nah, dude, but it was fun. It was cool. I'm glad I did it. I'll fill you guys in on what happens next. But anyway, I think that's the fucking show. Thanks for tuning in for the very first Bridge-Gadd show. I don't know what y'all thought about it. Maybe leave a comment. I don't want to be a fucking YouTube guy and be like, bro, like and comment below. Just
subscribe to the channel.
Dude, if you like, yeah, honestly, subscribe to the channel, though. If you liked it, say something. Text me and be like, I liked it, I didn't like it. If you didn't like it, leave a dislike so other people know you didn't like it, like whatever. But thanks, Dill, for being on the first one.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on the first one, bro.
Mark, thanks for pretending to use that accent the whole time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, give him your Instagram /
Oh, give my Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Dillon Hollingsworth, Dillon. Hollingsworth, HOLLINGSWORTH, 96. Give me a follow.
Wow, way to fucking bring the show to a screeching halt.
Motherfuckers having technical difficulties over here.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching, family. Peace out.